In the bitter cold of the northern Ural Mountains in the winter of 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers set out on what was supposed to be a challenging but routine expedition. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, these young Soviet students were well prepared for the harsh conditions, skilled in skiing and survival. Their goal was to reach Mount Otorten, a remote peak about 10 kilometers north of where their journey would tragically end. What followed would become one of the most mysterious and chilling unsolved cases in modern history, the Dyatlov Pass incident. The group consisted of 8 men and 2 women, all connected through their studies at the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Among them were seasoned hikers and radio operators, medical students, and engineers. They had planned their route carefully, expecting to complete the trek in about 2 weeks. The weather, however, was unforgiving. Temperatures plunged well below freezing, often reaching -30 degrees Celsius, with heavy snowstorms and fierce winds sweeping the rugged terrain. Early into the journey, one member, Yuri, was forced to leave due to severe illness, a decision that likely saved his life. The remaining 9 pressed onward, pushing through the snow and ice toward the mountain pass that would later bear their leader's name. By January 31st, they had reached the eastern slopes of Kolet-Syakhl, Dead Mountain in the language of the local Mansi people. With worsening weather and a heavy snowstorm closing in, the group set up camp on an exposed slope rather than descending to the safety of the forest below. That night, something inexplicable happened. The hikers, in the depths of a brutal winter night, suddenly cut open their tent from the inside and fled into the freezing wilderness, some barefoot and others dressed only lightly against the biting cold. Temperatures hovered around -25 degrees Celsius, with howling winds and deep snow that would have made survival nearly impossible. The footprints left behind told a story of panic and desperation, leading away from the torn tent toward the nearby forest. When the hikers failed to return as scheduled, search parties were dispatched. On February 26, nearly 3 weeks after the group's disappearance, rescuers found the abandoned tent, its poles missing and fabric ripped open from within. The footprints around the site were strange. Some hikers had fled barefoot, others with only socks, as if in a frantic attempt to escape an unseen terror. In the weeks and months that followed, the bodies of the hikers were discovered scattered across the snow-covered landscape. 4 were found near the forest's edge, dressed inadequately and showing signs of hypothermia. The remaining 5 were located months later, buried beneath snow and ice in a ravine some distance from the camp. The condition of the bodies shocked investigators. While 6 had died from exposure to the elements, 3 bore severe and baffling injuries. 2 had fractured ribs so severe they were likened to those sustained in high-impact car crashes. 1 had a fractured skull. More disturbingly, some bodies were missing eyes, 1 was missing its tongue, and others showed signs of internal trauma without corresponding external wounds. Additionally, traces of radiation were found on some of their clothing. The official Soviet investigation was inconclusive, citing a compelling natural force as the cause of death but failing to specify what that force was. The mysterious injuries and circumstances gave rise to numerous theories and speculations. Some believed an avalanche had forced the hikers to flee in panic, but the lack of typical avalanche debris and damage to the tent made this explanation incomplete. Others suggested katabatic winds, sudden, powerful gusts that could have terrified the group, or infrasound generated by the wind, which can cause feelings of unease and hallucinations. More speculative theories included secret military tests in the area, which might explain the radiation and injuries, or even attacks by wild animals, though no bite marks were found. Fringe explanations ranged from extraterrestrial encounters to supernatural forces, fueled by the bizarre and seemingly inexplicable details of the case. Despite decades of investigation, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains shrouded in mystery. Its legacy endures in books, documentaries, and films, captivating those fascinated by the unknown. The site itself has become a pilgrimage for adventurers and mystery seekers, a haunting reminder of nature's unforgiving power and the limits of human understanding. What truly happened on that frozen mountain in 1959? Was it a natural disaster, human error, or something beyond our comprehension? The unanswered questions continue to haunt the story, making the Dyatlov Pass incident one of the most enduring enigmas of the 20th century.